How's it going? Our next episode, we're going to be talking about combine. It's got 2023 88. Picked it up in April. So I've seen people do comparison videos in the past, and what we're comparing it to is early 1680. IH engine in it, short sieve machine. So quite a bit of difference here versus a late 1600 series. 1666 or 1688 versus the 2388. So let's drive right into it. So there's quite a bit of difference between the two. The early 1600 series, short sieved, and 2388, long sieved. You can add more cleaning power, put more air across it. It's a better cleaning deal. You can run a bigger head on it. This is your cleaning fan, 2388. A lot more airflow through there, a lot more efficient. I've seen flaws with these randomly flying apart. Not really sure what causes that. As for being really kind of a noob when it comes to this kind of series, we've been running the 1600 series for a while now, and their cleaning fan's quite a bit different. That's what you got in this one, so couldn't really tell you as to why they fly apart like I was just talking about. I think the more air you had, the better you can get, cleaner grain sample. It's about trying to keep the cleanest you can get, so you're not getting docked at the elevator or wherever you're selling. When it comes to your adjusting, you have a couple adjusters up underneath of this panel here. You flip down, there's a couple levers. You adjust the pitch to the top and the bottom sieve. As for this, I love this right here. I just think this is great, because you got your adjusting right here on the side. You don't have to crawl underneath there or get up underneath there. So I think that's really kind of good. I think there's a good design there. Really, really enjoy running the 1600 series, don't get me wrong, but when you're switching back and forth between corn and beans, it's not that bad to get underneath there, but it's just a lot more time efficient, I should say, to have it the way that is, so you can just, adjust and go, and you don't have to get out on your hands and knees, crawl up underneath the rear end and all that. So, yeah, I think that's good. I kind of noticed a huge difference in the spreaders on the back versus the 1680 over there. And I believe it's, for bigger head, you want to get your trash spread throughout the field at a more wider swath, I should say, so you're getting better coverage, crop residue. When that fan's blowing that chaff up against those, it's hitting those, and those are spinning real fast. It's spreading it all over the field, so I think that's real necessary if you're going to be running bigger head and get your chaff out there kind of a little bit better than what you have been. So, in past machines. We're going to come up here to the front of the machine now. This machine does not have a rock trap. I got some areas around here that does have some rocks in it. I don't really run too low in the rocky areas. 1680 did have a rock trap, does have one currently. Obviously you can add them, and all you'd have to do is like the previous video, if we're changing the feeder house to 1440, it's similar to that, just pulling it off. You got the rock trap, it's kind of sits right there in those pins on both sides, and you run your chain up through there for your reverser motor right here, and it's a bigger chain. bigger drive belt on the side over there, but totally worth it. I've heard rumors that it doesn't really fee as good, and I don't know. I guess it's kind of, I really wouldn't say it'd be much of conditions as just it's something else to get through. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you eat a rock, though, I mean that rock trap's going to help you out a lot, because if you eat a rock with one of these things, chances are it's going to total out. So yeah, just go with that. Something else that I really like about this machine, okay, and I'm going to point this out to you guys. This cable right here goes up to a lever beside the seat. You pull that lever up, it kicks your unload on. It pulls this idler tight, belt up there, it goes around your pump, and boom, you're unloading. On the hydrostat lever on a 2388, you've got where it's just a button, and it's on your hydrostat lever. So is your auger swing, as for the auger swing on a 1600 series on the steering column. So having everything on the hydrostat lever, I feel like allows you to do things more efficiently. You're not like reaching all over the cab trying to like just grab levers and stuff, you know, because everything's right there, everything's concealed good and tight, and that's, you know, if you can do things at a more efficient rate, it's not that big a deal to reach over and grab a lever. But I feel like it's just easier to drive, you know. The thing that's really sought after on this machine that a lot of people like is the creature comforts that come with it. Now, yeah, I'm talking about the cab. I mean, look at that thing. You know, I mean, it was an updated cab. It's quieter. There's a filtration system on the side. The filter is right behind that panel. I hear tell that it plugs a lot. Just got that thing, haven't ran it in a field yet, so it's going to be a different kind of experience versus a cab on a 1600 series being more enclosed and tight and not really sealed off to different kind of elements and stuff that's out there. Visibility is a lot more great. You know, you've got, you know, your heating and cooling vents up in the side of the pillars there, and you know, you're allowed to multitask at a better rate with more visibility. You can see a lot more, and I just feel like that was just a great design with that cab, and I'm looking forward to running that. So yeah, around here and I'll show you the 1600 series cab. So you can see the difference on them. Yeah, quite a bit there. It's a little bit off to the side, so I like my cab to be more centered over the feeder house too. So yes, before you guys roast me for not blowing off the feeder house, this combine was actually a trade-in. I have another 1680 just like it, and I just happened to blow this one off. I drove it right off the trailer, backed it right into the barn, and that was on Thanksgiving. So yeah, I need to get it straightened up. It's for sale if anybody's looking for a combine. I think it's a pretty good one, but it does have the rock trap on it. And yes, I think it'd make a guy a really good machine. Talk a little bit about the feeder house now. And when I say feeder house, right there where your head hooks up, right? So I noticed that the gather bars on your drum is a lot different, and I'd done some research on it because I really wanted to know why. They said it was infirm-proof feeding. I didn't know if there was like a flaw in the 1600 series that I had not noticed, but they said that it's just for improved crop inflow, I guess, and I could see how it would, because it's kind of spreading out your intake right there. So yeah, I really like that a lot. So you're gonna probably think this looks kind of bulky on the front versus the other combine, the 1680. It's got a field tracker on it, and this thing can rotate. So if you're cutting in uneven areas like beans or whatever, you can rotate your head as to whichever way. Cylinder right in there. those two holes, hydraulic cylinder, which allows that to turn. So I kind of think that's definitely really handy to have. This combine has about 4,800 hours on it, and this one here has about 5,000. So if you get up there, if it's maintained good, which I believe it has, I think you'll be all right. I also have different terminology for a lot of this stuff, so a lot of you guys are probably like, oh my goodness, he's not even calling it what it's supposed to be called. Well, it is what it is. But anyways, yeah, I think a 2388 is a million miles better than a 1680. So if you could afford one, I'd be definitely going with this thing. There is something that I do want to address about it. Climb up the back here, up here. Watch your head. So I hear a lot of guys say that they have trouble keeping the air filters clean on these things. I don't really have any tips for that. That's just what I've heard. Maybe, some of you guys watching this had better luck. Could point out some things that I don't know, but I think that the filtration system's a little better on the 1680 than this. And they say that air gets in, pretty much all over the place here. I mean, you can see silicone around the edges there. But the 1600 one, more along the lines of that right there. So, yeah, I mean, you run a bigger load, you kind of want to keep more air running through it. And when you're doing that, it's plugging like that, it can be kind of hazardous. So I do recommend always keep these blowed out. It doesn't take no time at all at the beginning of a morning to blow these filters out or put a new one in it or whatever. I always recommend putting a new one in it because you go blowing a filter out multiple times. You start taking little chunks of the filter out, and then you're letting bacteria into your intake, and that's not good on the engine, obviously. So, yeah, that's just how I'd handle that. But I don't know. Maybe some of you guys got some tips. Some of you might disagree with me. It's just where I'm at with that. So, yeah, we'll go from there. Bigger deal as to why I bought this thing. One of the main reasons, one of the big faulty reasons, and not really say faulty. It's a pretty violent work area. But yes, I am talking about the chopper on a 2388. I've heard a lot of stories of chopper bearings going out on these things. You could have a bent shaft or something, but I'll shoot you up in the back of here just to let you look at it. So you got those knives on there, and that takes your crop residue, chops it up real fine before it blows it out the back. Now, the 1680, the later ones had a chopper. This one right here has something a little different. They have what you call a beater. And this is what a beater looks like. It's a big drum with paddles on it. It rotates, throws it out the back. Now, it seems to me like as time goes on further, a lot of these different numbers of soybeans or wheat or whatever, you're harvesting, seems to be getting a lot more stringier than what they used to be. And having a chopper is just really nice for just getting it chopped up real fine, throwing it out the back. You get your set of devastators on the bottom of your corn head or whatever, if you're gonna get you a real one-pass disc kind of deal, or maybe you're a no-till guy. That'd be a lot better setup for no-till. But it chews your residue up before it comes out just a lot better. So that's one of the key reasons as to why I wanted one of these, because I was dealing with ropes out there in the field, and I don't like that. We've covered the cleaning, we've covered the unloading, we've covered the feeder house, the the chopper. You know, we talked about the cab. I'd like to show you guys the inside of the cab on the 23 and how it's a little different. So this is what I was talking about right here. And your unloader switch, that's your button to turn your unload auger on, and then that picks up your head back and forth as your field tracker. And then right here, your forward aft, up and down, your reel. So yeah, I think this is a much better design in terms of visibility, and it's a big improvement. Something I'm really kind of looking forward to is this guy right here. Did not have one of those in the 1680. So it works. I'm looking forward to it. You can see ag leader monitor, yield monitor 2000. I can't even talk. Really big deal if you're trying to like maintain like where stuff's yielding moisture and all that stuff. It's really something to have that on your farm, and I think it'll really help us out a lot. Narrow in better parts of it. Been in the cab on the new combine. Well, new to me. Okay, give me a break. I'll show you the cab of the old combine. A little bit more scruffier. I need to clean this one up a little bit more better. Yeah, it's kind of not really as much as visibility. So here's your unload auger switch. The lever for engaging the unloader that I told you about. I've had those cables. I don't really know how it gets stretched and not engaged properly on the other combine, but they got that straightened out. Goodness gracious. I haven't been in this one yet for a long time. I have to get the vacuum up here or something. But yes, there's all your controls for this. Moving that right there. A lot more nicer buddy seat than 2388. I'll give it that. So, there you go. You guys are probably going to ask, what kind of head do you run on these machines? Well, I run a 1063 Case International 6-row corn head across the 1680s and the 1440s. So I will be running that head on 2388 for now. Plan is I'd like to find an 8-row Drago or something that I can put on there so that we can plant corn with that 16-row Kinsey. That'd be a lot more efficient than that. Plus the Kinsey's got precision corn meters, so that'd be a lot better too. But for the bean head, around 25-foot, 1020. It's in the other shop over there on the cart. That 820, 15-foot right there that you see, that is for the 1440. That's the original head that came with it back when we got it. I think it was 2006. We got that combine back when I was a little fellow. So, yeah, it'll always be around. But, yeah, that's the kind of heads we run on that. Tell you guys, all you extras probably gonna get on here and be like, oh, you didn't cover this, you didn't cover that. I'm sure there's a lot of things I didn't cover. I mean, you got the mesh hoses, you got the updated rocker arms deal, the braces, you got your solenoid block and your wirings all on a place like that right up underneath there versus it being underneath the step right there on the side, right up underneath there on a 1600 series. I think that it's going to be a pretty good machine for us. I'm really excited about running it. I was really excited to make a video about comparing it to another machine of ours. I've always wanted to do that, so I think it's going to be a great opportunity. I'd like to have them run in the field side by side eventually. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but I think it'd make a really cool video. We're going to get a drone. We're going to do some drone footage. We're going to get a GoPro. We're going to do some GoPro footage, and we'll come up with some pretty good footage for the upcoming videos and stuff. So stick around, stay tuned, and another point that I will come up and say is the adjusting the rotors, range from versus like high and low, a little bit more different than on a 1600 versus a 2388. You've got that cable right up there, that knob, it's right back in there, which adjusts it from your high, medium, and low ranges. And then on this combine over here, the 1600 series, you've got the handle up there on the side where you just crawl up there. A weak point being mainly the cables on these are frail. This one is currently broken, so I'm gonna have to change that. So there'll probably be a video on, doing some maintenance and some different stuff on it, and I'll try to go over some things to check on it for some of you guys that have just been buying these. Like I said, I'm new myself to it, so it's a big learning game for me. So any tips be appreciated. I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. So we'll tell you, thanks for watching. Like, you can subscribe, be much appreciated. Jesus Christ is King.